Hello everybody. In today's lesson we are going to learn how to work in MS Excel, Microsoft Excel, which is also known as electronic spreadsheet. Let us see what are the topics that we are going to cover in today's lesson. The first topic that we are going to do is why we should learn electronic spreadsheet. So we will discuss the limitations of manual spreadsheet. Then we will learn how to create a new workbook, the different components of a spreadsheet, how to enter a data in a workbook, how to edit the data in a workbook, how to save it, and how to finally close a workbook. Now first let us discuss the limitations of manual. Now what is a manual spreadsheet? The manual spreadsheet is the list or the table that you draw use in your pen and paper in order to record data. For example, if you're asked to record the marks obtained by 10 students in 5 subjects, then you will be needing how many headings? Roll number and 5 subjects and 1 name, so 5 into 7. You will be needing 7 columns and you will be needing 10 rows to write down the data for 10 tables. Now you have to draw the table manually in the paper, so that is the manual spreadsheet. Now suppose you enter all the data and you have been asked to find the total, the percentage, and all sorts of calculations have been asked to you to do, and then you have to do them manually. So there is a few limitations in that case also, like see in the second point I'm discussing that manual sheet does not give the facility of calculations, whereas the electronic spreadsheet has formulas which help us to do the calculations with 100% accuracy, which is not guaranteed in the manual spreadsheet. See the fourth point, calculations on the manual sheet may not be 100% accurate. Moreover, drawing the tables and everything is very time consuming, and the size of the manual sheet is fixed. I'll speak about this point later on. What do you mean by the manual sheet is fixed? When I do in the MS Excel software, I'll show you how we can add more rows and columns, which cannot be done in pen and paper because the size of the paper is fixed. And suppose you initially you knew that you have to make only 5 columns, so you have made and divided the entire page into 5 rows equal columns equally, and you have drawn the table, and suddenly the teacher introduces another column. You will not have space for that because you have used up the entire space. So that is a limitation in manual spreadsheet. I will show you when we do it practically. I'll show you how we can do it in the electronic spreadsheet. So now let's go to the different components of MS Excel. See, in this screenshot I have put all the important components of the spreadsheet, or how this is what MS Excel spreadsheet looks like. So I will show you where are these important areas. Like first I will start with the quick access toolbar. Now this is the quick access toolbar. Okay, you have the exit and close option, save option, undo, redo, you have all here. And here the small arrow that you can see over here you can add some more important icons which you use frequently. This place is for only those functions that are used very frequently. Then comes the file button. You can very well see that this is the file button. What do you have in the file button? You save option, open option, new option. These are the things that are there in the file option. It is similar to that of MS Word. Then you have the title bar. This is called the title bar. Can you see what is the name of the Excel file? Book 1, and this is the name of the software. So this red bar is the title bar. Then comes the menu bar. Which is the menu bar? This is the menu bar. So these: insert menu, home menu, formula, data, review, these are the menus. So this is the menu bar, and this is the ribbon area. So whenever you click on any one of these tabs, the ribbon area will change accordingly. Now comes a very important part which is new in MS Excel. All these were also there in MS Word, so you are a little familiar with it. Now name box. What is name box? This is called the name box. Now what is this name box? Can you see this cell? Each of these box is known as a cell. What is it called? cell, and the one with a dark border is called the active cell. So this is the active cell. It can be anywhere on the spreadsheet, but when you open spreadsheet for the first time, this cell is highlighted, and by default this is the active cell. So this is the default cell. In this case it is an active cell as well as default cell, but if you click on this cell, now I can't show you because I'm in a different mode. It's just a screenshot. I can't do any functionalities here. When I go to MS Excel, I will show you. So this is a default cell, the cell which is selected when you open the MS Excel sheet on its own. Now see the name box. The name box is the name of the cell. What do you mean by name of the cell? Each cell has a name. Like in geography, you have learned that every spot on the earth can be located by giving two values. One is for latitude and one is for longitude. Over here also every cell has a column name and a row number. Let us consider this cell. Okay, let us consider this cell. Let us see which column is it in. It is column J. And which row? See this row, this is the 14th row. So the name of this cell will be J14. Consider this cell. This cell, what is this cell? This cell is, I'm talking about this cell. I hope you understand. I'm talking about this cell. Now see which column is it in. It is in column L, and this is in row number 10. So the name of this cell is L10. So first we write the column name and then we write the row number. So column has a name or alphabet letter associated with it, and rows have numbers. So these are the row headers and these are the column headers. Now let's go to the formula bar. Since I've told you that in MS Excel we can do many calculations and there are many default formulas already built in, we can use these for doing our calculations with 100% accuracy. So this is where you write down the formulas. So this is the formula bar, this rectangular block. Then this is very easy. You have the vertical scroll bar and the horizontal scroll bar. Now here you have the sheet bar. Now what is a sheet bar? A file that you open in MS Excel is a workbook. From the book you can very much understand that it contains of many sheets. So in this case you can see that how many sheets are there? Only one sheet. So by default MS Excel provides you with one sheet, but you can add as many sheets as you want through this insert sheet tab. Now let us open an MS Excel file and learn practically how to handle MS Excel. First I will go to the desktop from where we will open MS Excel. Now how can we open MS Excel? Either we will have a shortcut on the desktop, or we will have a start icon on this taskbar pinned. If we click on that, MS Excel will open, or we can go to the start menu and type Excel. As soon as you type Excel, see it will give you the first option MS Excel, and you can click on this. Now when you click on this, it will give you two. One is this is a template and this is a blank workbook. I will open a blank workbook. Now see, this is a new workbook that has opened, and see the number of sheet is only 1. and these are the column names, and these are the row numbers 1 2 3 4 that you see. Now let us click. Now at this moment, A1 is the active cell. Why it is active cell? It is default also because it has a dark border. Now if I click on this cell, now see, this cell is becoming now active cell. There are many indications. Number one indication is it will have a dark back border, and see the column and its column and row will be highlighted. See, from the highlighted row and column you can easily find out what is the name of this box. The name of this box is H9. Can you see what is being printed on H9? See the name box H9. So whatever is the name of the active cell will be reflected in the name box. See, M6, this is I19. See, here also it is showing I19. So this is the purpose of the name box. Now you see the column name starts from A and it moves on to here, but it does not end in Z. It goes up to 16,384 XFD columns. So now what is written in the book is refers to those versions which is to Excel 2003 and earlier versions. After that, the default number of rows and columns have changed. So I will write that over here, and so that you have it in your record. Default number of rows is 1048576, and the default number of columns is 16,384 XFD. Now this is actually the name of the last column. Okay, now see, whatever data you give in the active cell, that is reflected over here. If it is a formula, it will show here. So now let us start entering data. Now before we start entering data, what we should learn is to save the file. Now how will we save? We'll go to the file menu. They will have a save as option. I will go to any place where it is suitable for me, but wherever I save, I will note that down. So in my computer, I will go to the desktop or my documents, whatever it is, and in my documents, anywhere I can just type the name class 7. I've given the name class 7C. The name of the file is shown on the title bar, and see, this is the quick access toolbar, and I have what options? I have this option. This is the icon. Here you have the restore, minimize and close options. This is the save option, this is the undo, and this is the redo. And if you click over here, then you can add a few more commonly used or frequently used functions over here, like printing and sorting and new, open. So whatever you, it depends on the user which functions they use frequently. Let us start entering data. We will do the example that I just spoke of, that you will enter the marks of 10 students in 5 to 6 subjects. So let us write down the roll number and everything first. I'll start from here. Writing in short. Next is name. Then you have house, right? Which house you're in. Then maths, physics, chemistry, biology, and computer science. Now see, in the row columns, they are all of the equal width. Some are not of this, like the name of the subjects are longer than the width of the column. So I can just put my mouse over here and I can change the shape or the width of the column. But I can also do another thing by which automatically the column will take the width of the longest string or sentence or data, whatever is there in the column. So just I'll double click over here. See, automatically this column has taken the width of this data. So like columns width can be changed in this way, row height can also be changed in this way. We just bring the mouse, see the mouse now when it is on the spreadsheet is in the shape of a plus sign, but when you bring it on the row header or the column header, see when it comes on the border line between two rows or two columns, it looks like this, a plus sign but to an arrow showing up and down. So that is indicating that you can now change the height of the row over here. So I will see, I can just click and drag. In this way I can change the height of the columns. Now I will enter the marks only for the first student. If I am not wrong, last year roll number 1 was Ashi, isn't it? Ashi Mahajan. Now see here, the name is longer than the width of the column. So what will I do? I will just double click on this border. Automatically it took the width of the name. Ashi was in, I think, blue house. I don't remember your marks, so I'll put random marks. Okay. 94, 80, 85, 98. Okay, and in this way I can enter data of all 10 students. This will be your assignment. I will give the details of your assignment at the end of this video. So we learned that we can enter numbers as well as alphabets. It is alphanumeric. These are also called string values in the cells. But you should also notice here that all words, that is letter string values, are left oriented, see, left aligned, and all numbers are right aligned. This is a specification of MS Excel. Now I would also like to give a heading. Okay, I will give class 7 marks list. Okay, I can change this to all capitals. Class 7 marks list. Now if it is a heading, then I would want it to be a little stretched out. So I want this heading to be stretched out across all the columns of the table. So this is the range of my table, and I will give borders first, all borders. It's same as that of MS Word that you have done, and I want the heading to span over all the columns. So what I'm going to do is, any one of the cell, I will just type in the data, what you have to what you want to give as the heading, and then select all the cells that you want it to be one cell, and here you have an option which is called merge and center. That is, it will merge all the selected cells and place the text in center alignment. Okay, and then I can increase the font size to make it look like a heading. Then I can give a border also to make it look better. So now we know how to enter data. Now suppose I want to edit one data. Suppose I want come to know that she was not in the blue house, she was in the red house. So how will I change that? Now if I click on this cell, this is the cell whose data I want to change. So I will click on the cell. Now when you click on the cell, if you start, suppose she says she's in red house, and I just start typing, I'll repeat this again. my cell is here, my default active cell is here, and I come to know that I have to change the house. So I will select this cell first. I've selected the cell. Now once it becomes the active cell, either I can type over here and change the data. See, the change is reflected in this cell. Or what I can do is, I will repeat this process in the second method. I will just click on the cell and start typing. I did not select and delete. It is automatically being done. Okay, so automatically it is being deleted and the new data is being put in. Now suppose this is the entire data is replaced. Now suppose instead of this maths marks to be 98, it will be 198. Then you don't have to delete the full data, you just need to put a 1 in front of this 9. So I can use this method. I just click in front of 9 and I put the 1 and the data is changed. Okay, so there are two ways in which we can edit the data. Now once this data editing is done, you must always save from time to time. Now I will show you one more important thing which I spoke about during the limitations of manual worksheet, that adding of columns and rows. Now see, adding of columns and rows is not a problem over here because I have so many rows and columns extra. I can include any. But suppose we are asked that we have to give English marks also. So English will come before the maths column. I can select the cell. How can we select the cell? Just you bring the cursor on the column header and you will see that it is highlighted. You just click on that. So this column is being selected. Now I have to insert a column before this. So this is column E. So it should come between D and E. So what will I do? I will go to the insert option. Insert, and I want a column. Okay. See, automatically one column was inserted and the new column became column E and the other columns were shifted by one cell, and the name of the columns, the headers of the columns have also changed. So now I can put in English over here and also give the marks. So this would not have been possible in manual worksheet. How will you now enter a new column in the paper where you have already divided the column paper into these many columns equally? You can insert like this. So this is an advantage of the electronic spreadsheet. Now this can be done in case of rows also. Okay. So how do we insert? Suppose I want to insert a row between row number 3 and row number 4. I just select the row number 4, go to insert option and click on insert. See, one new row has been inserted. So this is a very, very important advantage of electronic spreadsheet over manual worksheet. I have one more thing to show you here, that is adding of sheets. This is sheet 1. So this workbook, whose name is class 7, has only one sheet here. I can click on this icon to create a new sheet. Let's click here and see sheet 2, and this is a brand new sheet. I can toggle between the sheets. This was sheet 1 where we have done all these. This is sheet 2. Suppose in sheet 2 I can do for class 8. For sheet 3 I can do for class 7, and we can also rename them. So sheet 1 is for class 7, so I can just rename. How do we rename? We have to right click on this box, okay, where sheet 1 is written. I have to right click here and go to the rename option, and I'm giving here class 7. Enter. So this sheet has been renamed as class 7. This can be renamed as class 6. So in this sheet you will save the data of all the class 6 students in this way. Okay. Now that you know how to enter marks in MS Excel, and this is your first assignment where you have to make a list of 10 girls in your class with name and roll number and the marks obtained by those girls in these respective subjects. And your MS Excel assignment will look something like this, and you can name your file according to your choice, but please note where you will be saving your Excel file, because when I will be moving forward in this lesson with the other features of MS Excel, I will be using this list to show the other functionalities in Spreadsheet. Hope you found this lesson enjoying.